All right, this is the Math Models Unit 3, Lesson 2 video. Two kind of big concepts here are going to be circle graphs and then percentages, which are related to circle graphs. And then there's some other kind of percentage problems built in. So first thing we kind of want to understand is that when we look at a circle graph, kind of generally speaking, we kind of need to know some basics. Like we need to know that when we're looking at a semicircle, half the circle, that's going to be about 50% of the circle. So that's kind of one kind of thing. We also want to know that, if we then cut in that in half, we're dealing with about 25%. So those kind of general kind of like rules or general ideas about what is half or 50% or 25% of the circle will kind of help you get the answer most of the way. And so when we look at the sections of the circle that we're looking at, we kind of want to keep this in mind because we're really going to be doing estimation. And so what I mean by that is when we go down here, it says use the circle graph to answer the question. In the total budget is $2,754. What is the amount of money for the best estimate for the savings category? So we see savings is right here. It's the blank section. And so this is a great example. I can tell just by looking, just estimating, my guess is this is about 25% because it's about a quarter of the circle. It's almost exactly one of those four sections of the circle. So what that means is that that's the percentage I'm going to use to find the decimal to multiply by the total. So in these problems, it's like you have some total, and then you want to multiply times the percentage that you get. And so in this problem, I'm going to multiply the total budget times the decimal for 25%, which is 0.25, and then that's going to get me the answer. So that's what you're doing here. So you're just estimating the percentage. I guess 25%, maybe it's a little less. And then you're going to pick the answer choice that's closest to that value. And you should be fine doing that. Number 2, similar idea. The total budget is $15,000. What amount is the best estimate for the profit category? Well, profit again is the clear section, no pattern. So it's a really pretty small sliver. We know already, like we said, that 25% would be about like that. So you can use your best guess as to what percent you think that is. So if this blue section is 25, obviously it's less than that. You just decide, is it 10, 12, 15? What are you going to pick? Pick one of those numbers and then multiply it and see what you get and see which answer choice seems like it's the closest. So I'll let you do the rest of that. Again, you're multiplying that total times the decimal form of the percentage that you get, right? So multiply that times the percentage. Okay, so I kind of got you started on those. The rest of these, I'm going to walk you through kind of the beginning and let you finish it off. It says here, Carlos created the following monthly budget. $350 for food, $320 for transportation, $950 for housing, and $275 for personal expenses. Working a 40-hour week, how much must he make per hour to meet his projected expenses? Assume there will be 4 weeks in each month. So first thing off, we know we're doing 40 hours at 4 weeks a month. Oops, sorry. So that means we need to find out what 40 times 4 is. So that's going to be the number of hours he's going to work is 80 hours of work. So that's one key piece of information that we need. The other thing we need is we need to find the total of all of the expenses. We need to add all those numbers up, and you're going to get some total. Then you do the total that you find divided by the hours he's going to work in the month, which we already found, and then that is your answer. So you need to find that answer there, total divided by the number of hours. Number 4, Lisa wants to take a trip during her vacation. She has 8 months to save towards a trip. And then it tells us the trip is going to cost $4,775. Her monthly income is $3,742, and then there are the monthly costs. So just to kind of sketch out the plan of this problem, we're going to have income minus expenses. What's left is how much she is going to save each month. We know that she has 8 months to save. So each month she's going to save this amount. So you need to do the savings times 8 and then subtract. That's going to be the total saved. And that's the number you're looking for right there. All right. Got to get you started on that one. So I'll let you finish that one off. Jake wants to buy a new car. He currently budgets 28% of his income for transportation costs. If he makes $9.50 an hour and works 40 hours a week, how much does he have for car costs each week? So you need to find his total pay each week, which is going to be $9.50 times 40. That's his pay. Then you're going to multiply that times the percentage to find how much he has for car costs. That answer you get after you multiply the percentage, which is 28%, will give you the car costs. Tyler's planning to go out to home game of his favorite team. He expects to spend $127 for the night. If he's budgeted 11% of $1,932, how can he afford to go? So in other words, is this enough money? If I multiply 11% of 1,932, is that more than 127? Then subtract. If so, subtract from 127 and find out how much is left after you spend that 127. Maya has credit card debt of $7,891. That's a lot of credit card debt. She has 0% interest. She pays it off in 36 months. That's pretty straightforward. She has 36 months to pay off this amount. You need to divide. How much is each month going to need to be? That amount divided by 36. Pretty straightforward. If Maya's monthly salary is $2,437 and she has budgeted 13%, will she be able to make the payment? This is exactly like the question about the baseball game or the opening home game. Not necessarily baseball, I guess. So we need to find out how much 13% of her salary is and whether or not that amount is going to be enough for that. So 13% of her monthly salary, is it more than $289 or equal to $289? All right, that's the end of our lesson 2 video. And please let me know if you have questions.